Hi, this is Evelyn Olivares. Welcome to your new unit, Manage and Monitor Effective Client Service in the Retail Estate, in the real estate industry. This is your pre-assessment video, and it's to help you with your upcoming assessment, and you should also, of course, download your notes, the learner's guide from the realfocus.com.au website, and you'll be fine once you do that. So welcome on board. All right, guys. The first thing that we're going to be looking at here is let me just get my other program up. Just give me a moment because it's all over the shop here. Right. Okay. Here we are. Client service. Why bother? Throughout the manual, the learner's guide, you will see that I have lots of different quotes there from many different people. Some great quotes on client service or customer service, because the customer's perception is your reality. Whatever the client thinks about you is what they're going to spread about you. So it's very important for us to keep a reputation intact, and excel in our customer service. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Bill Gates. Absolutely. And I'm sure that we all know Bill Gates and Mr. Microsoft himself, and how immense the business has grown with him at the helm. Your customers doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Not about them as a client, but them as an individual. It's important that you care about the client as an individual. And right at the end of this, I do have a video, a testimonial from one of Chris Gilmore's testimonials, and it's an amazing video because we went out to see this listing up front. Whenever he was called out, the lady started crying, and he said, "I'm not going to sell your home. You're not ready to sell your home. I'm not going to sell your home." And he said, "I don't want you to, call me back until you're ready." And anyway, so finally, she said they didn't put the house in the market. When she called him, she was ready. He came out and he listed the property and sold it within 3 weeks. That goes to show the values of someone of the caliber of Chris Gilmore. He knew that the lady didn't want to sell her home. Now, I know that some people have different ideas about that, but this goes to show you, this is positive proof, real life proof that sticking with true values, true great values, and looking after the customer, because you care for them as individuals, not just as you're wanting to commission to sell their home. So I'll play that for you at the end of this recording. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echo is truly endless, like it goes on forever. In the world of the internet customer service, of course, it's important to remember that your competitor is only one mouse click away. Some great quotes there for you. So let's go on now and start with the customer client service in real estate. All right, customer loyalty. It is the best. Our loyal customers are far more likely to do repeat business with you and to refer you to their friends and family if they are happy with your service. So the probability of selling to a new customer, for example, is 5 to 20%. But an old customer or a past customer, it's 60 to 70%. Why? Because they have already used your services before. They know you, they trust you, and they feel as though they were happy to refer you to other people. That's huge, yeah? So 60 to 70% is what you can get from past customers or old customers. Bear that in mind. So customer service is absolutely crucial in any industry, and you have a great opportunity now to take that thought into the real estate industry as you're starting in the industry now. So good luck with that. Give you some idea of customer acquisition versus customer retention. I was just wanting to keep it very simple here. But what you have on the screen there in front of you is a simple contrast in acquisition strategy against retention strategy. Suppose you allocate $235 in total to a marketing budget, of which $210 was allocated to acquire 6 new customers. at $35 each, which is $210. At the same time, you spent $25 to retain 5 current customers at $5 each, which is $25. So the total cost to you on that will be $235, and your total customers are going to be 11. Let's look at the other side, the retention side. If you reallocated that marketing budget as follows, if you were to put your money into acquiring only 3 new customers, yeah, at $35, it's $105. And if you use the rest of the money, it's $130 remaining to retain 26 customers. The cost is still $235, but you have a total customer base now of 29 rather than 11. Yeah. So I hope that that very easy, simple a comparison there gives you the message loud and clear of how important it is to retain your customers, your referral business. There is the Pareto Principle. Of course, if you've been in my class before, you would have heard me say this, and if you've been in other management training, you would have heard this also. The Pareto Principle is known as the 80-20 rule, developed way back in the day by an Italian economist. And the original rule was 80% of wealth was owned by 20% of the population. It's been found since that the rule applies to almost every area of our life. So 80% of the time is spent on 20% of the tasks. And 80% of our sales revenue is made by only 20% of your salespeople. Interesting, isn't it? 20% of your clothes are worn 80% of the time. Very interesting. Bear that one in mind whenever you're working through your business planning and your client services. So let's look now at some client loyalty strategies. And of course, at the bottom of the screen there you can see the Learner's Guide, page 6, for this question. So the client loyalty strategies there are client reward schemes, cross-selling, formal written letters of thanks, written notes of thanks, online activities, newsletters, phone calls, promotional items, and upselling, and touching base multiple times. So a lot of that speaks for itself. If you've been in business before, you'll understand it. Client reward schemes, it might include things like, you might give your clients, if they bring in referral business, or if, you might you might give them two free movie tickets. When I was in the business selling and managing real estate, I would give my tenants, if I was selling the property, give my tenants a voucher on a Saturday morning to go across the road and have a cup of coffee and biscuit on me at the local at the Carliffe Court shopping centre. So that's the sort of thing we're referring to there. Cross-selling is simply things like selling other parts of the business. So if you're in sales and you sell a property to an investor, you can refer it over to the property management department and hopefully win the management of that property as well. Formal written letters of thanks speaks for itself. A handwritten note speaks for itself. Online activities, we're going to talk much about that later on in this particular video recording. So we're going to talk about social media in that area and what you can do there in online activities. Newsletters, phone calls, all that kind of thing, guys, is important. But so if that question comes up, you can choose any one or 3 or 5 of those and add them to the answer sheet. So the best quality strategies are recognition and acknowledgement of appreciation, because you really want to create a memorable customer experience, right? You want your customers to remember you by name, treat you as a celebrity. You have also, number 2 there is early and exclusive access. Invite your clients to a free information evening and have experts speak on the subject. So, it's been done before with accountants and mortgage brokers and things like that. But I'd like to introduce you to maybe life coaching about because in this business in real estate, people, most of our clients, at least half of our clients, because it's 1 in 2 these days, get divorced. So at least half are going through a very, very emotional states and divorce. So it might be a good opportunity for you to strike up an alliance with someone who is a life coach, like me, for example, and in your information evenings, invite that person along and invite your clients who might be going through that very stressful state. Pro-social incentives also discover what they really want. It's important to discover what they really want. They won't always tell you that up front. Needs a great deal of rapport before they give that information up to you. So I call that present state. Where are they right now? And what do they ultimately want? What's their desired state? Look to add value and to help them get where they want to be. So expand your strategic alliances here with other professionals. Have information evenings. Have other experts come in to join you on the evening. And maybe you can give them helpful articles or refer them to give them free subscriber membership to your website where they get articles and blogs, or even give them an ebook. So there are 3 of the best strategies, and I got that information there primarily. It's been edited a little bit, but from a guy called Andy Haynes, and he writes for Fresh Books. So interesting, and I love those 3 strategies there. So I just want to give you for a moment a phone script on an offer for an appointment. And this is what you're wanting to do these days. Is not just ring up and ask, and some people still do it, and it's a mouth. I'm amazed at what some agents do. Ring up and just ask, do you want to sell your home? This is a script that was given by Glenn Twiddle. And I think it's an interesting script, and you're welcome to use it and make some changes if you like, and so it suits you best. But let's say you pick up the phone and you ask, can you speak to the person who owns the property, like Mrs. McPherson or Mrs. Olivares, or whoever it is that because of course you would have the information from RP Data or Red Square. You know what the owner's name is, and so you'll use that name whenever you may make the phone call, making sure, of course, they aren't on the do not call list, which is very important. So you ask, can I please speak to Mrs. McPherson? So they say yes or no, or that you're speaking. Hi, this is Evelyn. And has my name been mentioned to you recently? I'm not sure if my name rings a bell for you. No, it doesn't. Okay, no problem. The reason for the call today, Mrs. McPherson, is, as you may be aware, ABC Agency is who I work for, and we've recently started a brand new way of helping the local community of Carlingford, let's say, homeowners with their investments and real estate needs. And what we're offering is an introduction, completely free for you, a membership to our Inner Circle membership, where you can, among other things, and in here you insert your best deal. So in your case, you might be talking about, you might have a special offer on right now if people come and list with you or manage with you. Whatever the offer is you're wanting to offer, that's where it is inserted here. So what's your email address? And I'll shoot that through for you through for you now. And if they say, well, no, you have to tell me some more about this. Well, that's okay. That's okay, Mrs. Alvarez. Thank you. We found that this is the case with most people, even before we rang. The call today, Mrs. McPherson, is only to offer you the club membership, so you can get the best offer, and you might mention the offer again before. As of course, most people aren't sitting around just waiting for companies to call them, are they? So what's a good email address that I can send it through for you? Now, again, make this your own script, because what you're wanting to do, yes, you want to get their phone number. Yes, you want to get their name. You can use this also at Open for Inspections. But more importantly, and so you'll get their email, you get their phone number, but more importantly, you want them to subscribe to your website. Hopefully you're going to have a great website, and if you don't, you need to talk to someone about getting a great website, because once someone is visiting your website, You're then able, if you have the right kind of website and right kind of analytics there, you can actually gauge who is on and how long they've spent on what pages. So it gives you a better idea of whenever you're speaking to the client next time, of what you need to speak about rather than wasting their time. Yeah. So think about that, and it's just something there that I thought it would be great to add here for you now, as in regard to customer service. So use that in whichever way you feel it's going to be appropriate for you. Ensuring you offer service excellence. I mean, I've mentioned to you in class before, but training, and I know I'm a trainer, but look, training is absolutely crucial. You cannot go through. You can't think that okay, I'm finished my training now. I have a certificate, or I have my diploma, my real estate license, and I don't need to train. I only need to do my CPD training each year. Look, that's true from the legal perspective. You must train in CPD every year to earn 12 points. And in addition to that, what I'd like to suggest is that you go outside and you do a lot of work actually on people, training about people and people psychology, not just the legislation, the policies and procedures, because we are in a people business, and understanding how the human psyche works is really important if you're going to do the best job for yourself and for your client. Also, workshops and teams meetings, it gives staff the opportunity to ask questions and clarify problems and share what's working, what's not, and what we can do better. Also, of course, your KPIs, your key performance indicators, are very important for you as a way of measuring how you're going. Questionnaires and KPIs also for clients and staff to weed out any problems and find some workable solutions for everyone. Mentoring programs also, I really do truly, I think you should implement those everywhere that you're working. Use incentives and awards, introducing business units for structure and healthy competition. There is a lot of competition in real estate in your own office that you're working in. It's been my experience in the industry. Hopefully you'll be the kind of leader that will use the mentoring as a positive rather than a negative in the industry. So the last thing you want to have is feeling like the person beside you is your absolutely biggest competitor when you work for the same office. What you want to be having in that environment is more a supportive environment rather than being it can be a healthy competitive environment, but a very supportive environment as well. So training and professional development. Some of the things I referred to in the last slide about your training, it's important. I mean, some of the things that I offer here, of course, you've all known me now, and you know how the kind of work that I produce in class and outside of class if you've been to my CPD training. But some of the other things that I have on offer at Real Focus is the art of influence and leadership. I do a lot of leadership training, which I think is very important in real estate business. The power of negotiation. Without negotiation, you don't have a business, as far as I'm concerned. Negotiation and marketing, really, there is nothing more important than those two in this business. Resilience and managing change. Resilience is something we all, as salespeople in particular, need to be trained up on a regular basis, because we get a lot of doors slammed in our face in this business, in sales particularly. And things are always changing, so we need to always keep up with change, what's going on in the industry and outside the industry, in our role, in a sales role, for example, or a management role. Developing teams and leaders is an important thing, training as well, which is also an adjunct to the art of influence and leadership. 7 secrets to sales negotiation, creative magic marketing, and sales mastery. My most recent professional development training for real estate agents. So you know how to find me on the website. So if you'd like to talk to me some more about that training, please do. But this is the kind of training that I truly believe, whether you come to me, whether you go somewhere else, it really is. The important thing is that you do get training in leadership, in people psychology, and in negotiation, particularly sales negotiation. And if you're in a role where you do have access to marketing, you must get some marketing training. Don't just depend on your support staff to do it for you. Yes, they can do all of the legwork, but you need to have a clear understanding of what it is you're actually looking for and what's going to serve you best. So the power of social media. Social media is very powerful, and there are two mediums here. We've got social, we've got media. So social is being able to connect, socialize, share, and influence others. The media is the online platform that facilitates that connection and communication. And of course, we have Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, all those ones that are there on the screen. So people choose to use this form of communication. This is how they choose to connect. So getting together in this way can have an enormous influence on the decisions that other people make. And I've written a book on it's called the Small Business Social Media Survival Kit, and you're welcome to get access to that at some time. Again, you can get access to that on the website, or just shoot me through an email. Happy to give you access to that. So the people power, the impact that people have on your business and career should never be underestimated, guys. If you're in business, then you're in the people business, especially in sales. And the fact is that 78% of people make decisions based on other people's opinions. Referral-based business, client service, so important. It's been reported that 70% of people now visit social media outlets to get product information, and only 14% of people trust advertising. Online opinions and influence from social media sites are now extremely important players in this industry, in any industry really, but in particular in our industry, in real estate, because it gives you the opportunity to build your trust online with the people. Because remember, you are not just talking to one person. So if you're connected to someone in Facebook, for example, you're also connected to their friends as well. Social media in real estate. This is not in your learner's guide, people, but I need you to make a note of this information because it is going to come up in your questions. So here it is here. Social media in real estate, the power of improved visibility. That's how people buy today. It's as simple as that. That's how people buy today. It really is. The power of increased positive recommendations. Repeat and referral business is by far the best business you could possibly generate. Social media expands your audience exponentially. People can and do tell all their friends if you're good at what you do or you're not. And that happens within a matter of seconds when they post it into social media. The power of building trust online. The most successful agents are building their online profile and gaining the respect and trust of their community. The savvy agents, the guys who I always talk about in my classes, they're using their social media, blogs, and they're sharing their knowledge, which in turn increases their profile, and it builds the trust between them and their clients. And it's online, and sometimes in a lot of cases before they've even met the client. So take that in, take that on board. Performance measurement is important too. So any activity or loyalty program implemented should be reviewed to ensure it's still effective. Of course it should. So some of the ways that we can do that, of course, is by written formal surveys. Now we can have surveys in the office. We can have sitting on the reception desk, or part of the listing kit, etc. You have informal surveys, which where you just sit and chat with people and have a bit of a chat and ask them a few questions. So you're getting some survey information just from sitting and chatting with people. We've got questionnaires as well that we use from time to time, and of course we've got KPIs, the key performance indicators, and targets. So there's some ways for performance management for you. Here we are here with SurveyMonkey. This is a quick survey I put together just the other day for a sample. So you can do market research, and this is a template I've used this on SurveyMonkey.com, and it's free. So ask whatever you create your own questions there, and you can either have a box where people can write a reply in, or you can have, like they're in question 3, you can have a checkbox where they can just check 1 or 2 or 3 or many of the radio buttons there. So SurveyMonkey is certainly the place to go whenever you want to do your surveys online, and I recommend very strongly that you do that before you even start. Another way, of course, of monitoring our sales KPIs, we've covered this in class before, so I won't spend too much time here, but we need to know where we are currently, where we were previously, and what the difference is. What's the bridge? What's the gap? So if things have changed and changed in the negative, we need to know why things have dropped, why things have changed in the negative. Having said that, when things are improving and you are increasing, whatever, and it's all good, it's also a good idea to know why. So you want to know why you're not doing things so well, but you also want to know why you are doing it so well, so that you can keep doing it, yeah, and sharing information. Here's another one for marketing. So whenever you do open for inspections, for example, you might put in there, for example, the actual address, how many inquiries you've had, the responses at your open for inspections, how many offers might have been made, any you've had to reduce the price to sell, and any that were converted from a market appraiser to a listing. So there's some more there for you on marketing, performance management. Some of the real estate software we have in this industry, in real estate, most importantly is Trust Accounting, and there are many more that what I have on the screen, of course. But I guess these are the most popular. So we have Rockend, which is REST. We have Console, and we have Sherlock for Trust Accounting, which all comply with the fair trading requirements for real estate. And for our client relationship management systems, or CRM systems, the most recent one that I know about is one called Locked On, and it's from Aaron Shiner. There's another one there, Real Estate or REB Online. And My Desktop, of course, is one that's been around for a long time as well. So I'm not promoting any of these. I'm just letting you know that these are some of the systems that are out there, and a question will come up on that for you. So what do you need to document in regard to privacy and confidentiality? What is it in regard to databases? What do you need to document, and what should you not document? Well, excuse me. The documented information for legal purposes, we need to have things like, client needs what they want, and information about their home in general. We also need to put in there just general conversations about the property matters, what the property has and hasn't got, and general information on the property. Responsibilities of the agent in regard to the client information, what is required there. Claims and action taken regarding client's property. So, it might be management or it could be sales, but you need to document as much information as you can regarding their property and the conversations you've had with those people. Except for if the person, what you don't document are any information that is deemed to be of private or confidential. It might be some clients don't want to. They might be going through divorce and don't want people to know that. So if they've asked you that, then don't disclose it. Credit card details you do not want to keep on file. It's private and confidential, and if papers get lost, then people could use those details. So you don't put that on file either. Clients confiding in you, the agent, on any personal matters that should not be entered into the database at all. Yeah. So it's a private conversation, and it should be kept that way. So there are some things that you need to be very careful on what you're documenting in a database. Excuse me. So what are the legal and ethical problems for agents? We need to be very careful at giving advice that we're not qualified to give. we do talk about capital gain and things like that in real estate, but we're not unless you have a broker's license, you're not qualified as a real estate agent to give the information out. So you can refer them on to a financial advisor, and you would always do that anyway. So if you give advice and they take it as if they take action on that, and of course they lose money from that, then you can be held liable, as an agent for that. So be very careful not to give out any financial advice, because we are not qualified as a real estate agent to do that. You must have a broker's license. Revealing information that you've found out in your interactions with clients that could be private and confidential. So if you do share information that is private and confidential, again, you'll be sued, quite rightly, because you're not, people, whenever we strike up a contract with someone, a listing agreement or a management agreement, they can assume that they can trust us. It's just part of, it's just implied, and so you can't give away that information. Withholding information, also material fact, which we've discussed in class quite often, in regard to is there anything about this property that I need to know that if it was known by a potential purchaser would stop them from proceeding. Murder, suicide, a house was a brothel, might have been a drug house, things like that. Very important. We've discussed it all before. Legalities involving client preferences, which may not be legal. So sometimes, particularly in property management, some of your clients might say to you that they don't want a particular race or culture living in their investment property. That's illegal. That's discrimination, and we are not allowed by law to do that. It's your obligation to inform your landlord that they are asking you to break the law, and you can't do that. That you will take any inquiry that comes through. Of course, the final decision is made by the owner, by the landlord, but you will take any client who's interested to go through the property. You must do that. That's your legal obligation. So be very careful what you do there. Clients can get you into all sorts of trouble if you abide by those kind of rules, because you are breaking the law. So again, in regard to feedback, you can do as many surveys as you like in the SurveyMonkey. SurveyMonkey, I think, is probably the best. There's another one called also MailChimp, which is also, I haven't used that one, but I have been referred to it as well. So what happens then once you get that feedback? Well, you need to collect the information and collate it into certain piles. Discuss the information or your findings and the experiences that you've had along the way as to why the customers are satisfied or not satisfied in any particular area. In particular, what areas are of concern and to the customer's dissatisfaction, because we need to address those quite quickly. And of course, create a plan and timeline to rectify and implement those noted problems. So a lot of people, amazingly enough, do feedback surveys and then don't do anything with it. It's just they just go through the exercise. What a waste of time. So don't be one of those people. Make sure that you do get the information and do something with it, something useful, something resourceful with it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try this excuse me, this sharing a video again. I think one of the first things I need to do is actually share it on screen. So I'm going to go in there first. I'm going to pull it up on the screen and say start the screen, and I'm going to play it now, and hopefully you'll hear it. So here we go, a client testimonial for life. That didn't work very well, did it? Let's try it once more. This is an amazing video. So I'd like you to, I would like you to be able to access this Excellent. Well, it did work that time. Success. Don't you love success? Okay. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me again here this afternoon or this evening, whichever it is, whatever it is for you. I truly wish you well in your final assessment. This is the last with me, and we're finishing up, of course, in a couple of weeks' time. So, good luck with it, and I look forward to seeing you again next time around. Ciao for now.